We're here at the Peterbilt dealership now, and we've got the new truck. I haven't gone inside to take a look at everything yet, but there we go. And like I said, I'm recovering this truck, and there's some potential pros and a lot of cons with recovering a truck. Alright, we finally got everything put away, organized the way that it needed to be for my sanity and for the best ease of use. Negative thing that happened along the way, the load that I was supposed to be picking up, it was actually not shingles, it was fiberglass insulation, or actually, yeah, it was insulation, fiberglass. So actually no, it wasn't. It was like some type of roofing, I think, not insulation, but I think it was rolled roofing from the description and what they were saying I needed. But the point of it is, it specified in the load notes that I needed to have 8-foot long wooden V-boards, and there are none on this truck. And as far as I know, that's not a standard item that is on all of TMC's trucks. It'd be like hit or miss, you know. Some trucks will have them in the belly pan underneath the trailer and some won't. It's not like a standard thing, to my knowledge, that most guys are hauling around. I have V-boards, those red plastic ones that you guys have seen, but they're not 8 foot long, and I left them at home. I left them at home because I just didn't have room for them in the rental car, and I used them so infrequently as it is. It would be, of course, the one time that I don't have them with me is the time that I need to have something like that. But c'est la vie. You know, it is what it is. So the fleet manager had to take that load off of me because I believe he checked with the customer and to see if they had V-boards that are on site that I could use, because some customers do have V-boards that you can take with you for the load, but this particular one didn't. So I'm waiting to get dispatched on something else. It's like 12:30 right now, which that sucks. That means like all the best loads for the day are probably picked over. But I think I'm in a good area for freight in general. I'm in Ohio. There's a lot of stuff around here. Just the best paying stuff for the day might already be grabbed, but I don't think that'll be too long before I get dispatched on something else. But while I'm here, all right, camera dropped off on me there, but like I was saying, while I'm here, I wanted to show you guys something that you also need to make sure that you do when you do a truck recovery, or you get put into a new truck for whatever reason. In addition to your pre-trip and all the other stuff with putting your things away the right way and making sure everything is organized so you'll be able to easily work when you get dispatched on your next load, you need to make sure that you grab your permit book and look at each and every one of the permits, for one, to make sure that all the permits are in there, and then make sure that the permits are current and up to date. So this particular permit book was missing an up-to-date Colorado hazmat permit like I got right here, and it was also missing a Connecticut permit. But I called the permits department and got those emailed to me. I don't have a printer in the truck, so I'll print those out when I get home. I'm confident that I am not going to be going to Colorado or Connecticut this week before I go home and am able to print that stuff out, because I live in the South and I'm not staying out over the weekend, so I doubt that I'm going to be going there considering where I am right now. But that's super important, because if you get pulled over by DOT and they want to look at your permit book, you know, and Lord forbid if you're hauling a hazmat load and you don't have the right permits, you know, that's not going to be a good day for you. So you need to make sure that you call your hazmat, or not your hazmat, but your permits department if you're missing anything. Get them to send you the stuff. You know, hopefully you're somewhere where you can print the documents out. If not, I mean, I don't know if DOT will let you slide with just having like a photocopy, like having it in an email. I don't know for sure. You'd have to ask somebody that's in authority for that, you know, at your company, your permits department, or your fleet manager, or whoever. Everything else in this truck seems like it's okay. I didn't notice any major cosmetic damage anywhere. So I think that we're good to go. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be looking at things just to make sure over today and tomorrow, see if I notice anything. But other than that, we're just going to be hanging out here for a little bit, hopefully not too long, to see what we're going to be picking up for the day and where we're going to drive, because we got a full clock. And I don't really want them to dispatch me on something that's going to make me have to drive through the night to be in a favorable position tomorrow. I don't want that, but we'll see. Whatever it is, I will make a plan and I will dominate the day like I always do. I'll catch you guys in hopefully not too long, and we'll see what we're getting into for the rest of today. But like I said, I got that headache out of the way of dealing with that mess by my standards that was back there, and everything is back in shape. I haven't put away all of my items back there. I pretty much just dealt with the main items that I would need to use for working for right now. You know, I put all my tools in the right spot, and I got all my major day-to-day items that I use while I'm working placed where they need to be, so I'm not, you know, struggling and searching around for things if I need them while I'm picking up or driving today. Probably will sort all that stuff out later on tonight. I don't even have my bedding spread out, my blankets or anything. I'll deal with that. But that is one of the reasons why I hate having to switch trucks so much, you know, because it's a headache getting yourself acclimated to a new truck. This one doesn't seem too bad as far as like the buttons and where everything is placed in this truck. Is not really that different from what I previously had, just a few things in the different spots. But I do I do like the way this engine sounds. It sounds a lot nicer than the engine in the truck I had before. My other truck wasn't a piece of junk at all, but this engine sounds very smooth. It's got like a deep rumbly hum to it. You know, it's like oddly satisfying. It sounds really good when it started up. That part's cool. But I'll see what I'm picking up today. I'm gonna just hang out and chill. My clothes are already sweating and filthy from putting all that stuff away. I'm completely covered in rust. The clothes that I was wearing, or that I am wearing right now, were completely fresh, clean clothes that I just got washed. But when you're working flatbed, clean clothes do not last very long. So I'm gonna hang out, drink a little bit of water, and I'll get back with you guys in a bit. All right, we got our next load, and this time we do have a load of shingles, because like I said, we're in Ohio. That's something pretty common to pick up for the area that I'm in up here. So, and we're going to a place that I originally thought we were going to this morning. We'll go ahead and do that. We're about an hour and 15 minutes away from there. Just waiting right now. Just got done doing the pre-trips, logging in right now. And I wanted to show you guys something weird. I've only got one key for this new truck that I got. There's no spares right now. And let's try it out here. Key's pushed all the way in. Turn it upside down, test it again. The driver key, or the key, does not work in the driver's side door for some reason. It opens the passenger side door, no problem. It'll lock it too. Flip the key upside down or whatever. Locks and unlocks the door. And it also unlocks all the other doors on the truck, you know, like the side storage door here, and then the emergency escape hatch in the back. So I guess until I get around to a terminal, definitely gonna get some spare keys made. I always carry at least 2 copies of the key. You know, one for the ignition, of course, one spare to keep on me at all times so I don't lock myself out of the truck by mistake. And I don't know, maybe get a third one in case I lose one of the first 2. I don't know, but definitely want to have a mandatory of 2 keys. So I got to guard this one with my life until I get another one. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to move this truck at all. And unfortunately, I'm not running past the terminal on my way to deliver this next load. The next load is actually a 2-stop delivery. It's going down to North Carolina, not too far from where I like to hang out a lot, but it's due down there tomorrow. We're not going near the terminal in South Carolina though, so I can't get the spare key made tomorrow unless the load that I pick up runs me further down south and I drive past that way. Then I'll I'll see if I can swing that and have it not be out of route. We'll see. But right now we're good. And since I had a full clock, I pretty much, the load that I got right now ended up taking up the majority of my hours, or it's going to. So it's about a 8.5, possibly 9-hour drive from the place in Ohio where I'm picking up down to North Carolina, where I have to deliver the first stop, and then the second stop for the delivery is only like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so away from the first drop. So we'll do that. And fortunately, after I counted all of the securement that was already on this truck and trailer, there's not really much that this truck is missing compared to my previous truck. On my previous truck, I carried 12 pieces of dunnage. This one had 10, which is the standard that most of the guys at the company haul. I usually carry an extra 2 just because I'm able to build a 3-tier bulkhead easily when I have rebar loads, because the rebar loads usually take up the vast majority of my dunnage, and like I came up short in the past. That's why I started carrying an extra 2 pieces of dunnage, so that I could always make a bulkhead successfully. So I'll swing by a terminal whenever I get the opportunity, grab a couple pieces of dunnage and some 4-inch straps, because this load, or this truck, was short on those compared to what I had previously. It's enough for me to be able to do the vast majority of loads that we haul. I think I got 16. And I usually carry enough to fill up my side box. That way, in case any of my straps get tears in them or punctures, I can replace them without being out of commission, because I don't like to use potentially faulty equipment like torn straps or buckled ratchets that don't work properly, because that compromises the structural integrity of my load securement, and then that compromises my own personal safety and everybody else's out on the road with me. So I'm not willing to play around with that. I carry a little bit extra just in case I need to replace something, and then I just turn it back in to the company, the faulty stuff, when I go back around to a terminal, and then they do whatever they decide to do with it. I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves on the road. We're gonna be driving into the night a little bit. We have to, in order to make tomorrow successful, because it's already gonna be kind of late just because of how late we started our clock today. It's like 1 something in the afternoon, which is by far much later than I care to start my clock on a regular day. But that's just how today shook out because of what we had going on. So we're gonna make the best of it, like we always do. Get this load delivered and get more money in our pocket, because fortunately this load actually pays more than the first one, but I have to drive farther than I had to drive for the previous one. You can't win everything. But let's go ahead and get on the road. All right guys, we're here picking up the load of shingles that I told you we were gonna get, and I was about to start securing this load, but I noticed something that could have been an extremely significant issue. I went through all the securements, and there was no winch bar on this truck. Nothing. That would have been a very bad problem for me, because the winch bar is probably the most important piece of securement you have on your truck, because you use it to winch things down and tighten things. You can't do anything without it. But I'm not sweating that, because I have my own winch bar, my ratchet winch bar that I showed you guys in my last video. I don't have to worry about it now. Now I could go to a truck stop and purchase a standard winch bar, since this one doesn't have one, and then TMC would reimburse me. But since I have my own, I'm not sweating it. I'll just wait till I go to a terminal, and then I'll get a standard winch bar to put on the trucks. So that'll be company equipment. But this, my personal winch bar, saved my bacon today, because I drove here before I realized that I didn't have a standard winch bar on this truck. Maybe subconsciously my mind knew that I already had my own here, so I wasn't really paying as much attention to that as I normally would have. But let's go ahead and get these shingles secured and get out of here, because we got a 9-hour drive down to North Carolina where we got to drop this stuff off at. It's going to be 13 of these skids for one customer and 10 for the other. Very easy to secure this stuff. You guys have seen my other video, hopefully, where I do shingle loads. So I'm gonna go ahead and just knock this one out and get on the road. No winch bar, no problem. I got it covered. I'm telling you guys, I stay prepared. Can't be stopped. But it pays. Pays to think ahead. I mean, I got that, my ratcheting winch bar, for convenience and speed, but since I own it, it goes everywhere I go. I don't have to worry about having to separate from a truck and not having all the same equipment on the new truck that I previously had myself equipped with when I owned some of the material. And guys, these ratcheting winch bars are really good if you happen to have some type of shoulder joint discomfort, or say you've had a surgery or you got some kind of pain. You know, it takes a lot of the torque out of the work. It makes it a lot easier on your body. I mean, I don't have any injuries, but I know that using the ratcheting winch bar is a lot less strength required when you're torquing it down. You know, a lot less revolutions, twisting the bar, and all you have to do if you really want to tighten it down is just crank it down until it gets snug, and then you take it out and use the box head right here for your last crank or two if you really need to make it tight. Other than that, it's just as easy as turning any other ratchet, like if you're working on your car. Super easy. Super fast. I actually timed myself while I was working on this, or I'm still timing myself right now. And I only have one more strap to put on here. The last side of the X strap. And once I'm done with that, I'll see how long it took for me to secure this load of shingles. I'm gonna venture to say that it took less than 30 minutes on this one. That'll be a career record for me. If it took me less than 30 minutes to knock this out, we'll see. That's including the time that it took for me to get my equipment out to film everything. I always like to tie up the rabbit ears on my 2-inch straps, just to make sure they're not gonna have opportunity to come loose. There we go, look at that. Tied nice and tight, held back. Good. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. We're done. So let's see what our timer says. 22.5 minutes. That's a personal best. Okay, today's going pretty well, all things considered. I hit the ground running pretty much. We knocked out that securement of those shingles that I just showed you. That was an all-time record for me, 22.5 minutes. We got 9 hours to go to get to North Carolina. Raleigh is where we're delivering this stuff. The two delivery points are right next to each other, fortunately. But it is almost 5 o'clock, isn't it? Let me see. Yeah, it's 4:47 right now. So I got to determine how far I want to drive tonight. I'm not going to do anything crazy like driving past midnight. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. It's not going to be a good thing for my timing for tomorrow. I at least want to drive far enough to get to Fort Chiswell, Virginia. I could get the truck washed, which I'm due for a wash at the end of this week, Friday specifically. I could try to push that off until this upcoming Sunday and get the truck washed on my way to parking up. But if I can park at that Pilot that's at Fort Chiswell, I can get the truck washed in the morning on my way out before I head out to leave. And the lines for the truck washes first thing in the morning are always really short. First thing in the morning. They're always short, but that's how far from here. That's about 6 hours from here, which would leave me 3 hours to drive in the morning. If I drive to that point tonight, they'll get me there around 11 p.m. But all the parking in that area might already be taken. But that same area in Fort Chiswell, there's like 3 or 4 different pilots, along with like a couple of other smaller truck stops where I can park. So I think logistics wise, that would be the best place for me to shoot for parking tonight. I'll have the most options, even if I can't park at that specific pilot at Fort Chiswell, to get the truck washed. I can push the truck washed off if I have to. I've still got the rest of the week to get that done if I need to do that. But sitting here thinking about it too much is not gonna secure me a parking spot any better. And I don't really like driving late anyway. For me, most of the time, 11 p.m. is my cutoff time. I don't like to drive any later than that, just because naturally that's when my body will start getting sleepy. Like if I'm at home, because I'm naturally like an early riser. I prefer to wake up earlier than to stay up late. You know, back in my club days, my nightclub days, when I was a single dude, you know, I was all about staying up late, you know, not going to bed at all. But now that I'm a grown man, there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. I need to get this money, and I need to get myself in a good position to be able to dominate tomorrow. So we're aiming for Fort Chiswell. If I end up getting tired before I get there, I'll readjust my plans, but I really do not plan on driving any farther than 6 hours today. And let me see how much time I have on my clock. I have 9.5 hours on my clock, and it takes me 9 hours and 7 minutes to drive all the way to the Constantine. So in theory, I could make it if I tried to drive all night long, but that would be stupid because my clock would be starting super late tomorrow. And if I drove till that point in time, 9 hours, I wouldn't get to the Constantine until 2 a.m. And there's absolutely no reason to be driving like that, especially on a Monday, when I've got the whole week ahead of me to catch up and have my schedule adjusted and have, you know, accommodating loads set out for me to pick up and deliver. So we're just gonna stick to the plan, the 6 p.m., and we're gonna get ourselves up out of here. Yeah, I think that would be the smart thing. So let's go ahead and get to it. You will not believe what happened. The truck that I just recovered from Peterbilt today just broke down. Yes, the truck that I just recovered this morning from the shop.